Hi, this is Jeannie, and I wanted to share with you my flea market find. I found this plastic boxwood wreath yesterday at a flea market type place, and I got it for $10. I thought it was great. I thought it was on a grapevine base, but that's actually plastic. But it has some little battery lights, and I was surprised to find out that they actually work. So for $10, I thought it was great, and it measures. It's a good 18 inches. So what I was going to do is just use it and make a fall bow. Now, I won't use the lights, right now, but come Christmas, I'll take that bow off and do something else Christmassy, and use the lights then. So I've just taken some wire cutters and getting rid of that little pitiful patriotic bow, and just trying to figure out how to. Well, of course, I cut all the tags off of it, and I need to get that little test light off of it. So I had to kind of be careful about where I was cutting. I didn't want to, cut the battery lights into. But anyway, it unplugs. The little tester thing unplugs there. I had to try 2 or 3 times before I was sure enough that it was okay to, take that part off, and I did. And of course, it came with some directions, and I took a look at those, but you know how we do. We look at directions and then throw them away. It takes 3 AA batteries, so I didn't put any batteries in it at this time because, like I say, for right now I was not going to use the lights. But I went ahead and got the little tester off, and I trimmed off the tags. Those tags that I always say, do not remove and that kind of thing. But if you don't get rid of something like that on this wreath, it'll pop out and it'll be showing. So I cut the excess off, and then I took just a little piece of floral wire and secured that so it wouldn't, pop back out. Floral wire is handy to have around. You just cut it with wire cutters, and you just cut off the length that you need. But like I say, I thought that was a grapevine wreath, but it looks like a grapevine, but it's made out of plastic threads. Which, was actually a lot cleaner than real grapevine. So, I didn't mind that at all. So I just wrapped that wire around that and tucked that in. And then I wanted to make sure that the little battery box didn't get in my way. So I just took another piece of wire and secured it to the wreath base too. Just threaded that through a few strands of that base. And that will keep the box from, dropping down or, showing. Okay, so I just, needed to tuck a few of the lights out of the way. And my plan was to use that ribbon that you see on my table there, that plaid, but I decided I wanted something else. So I used this 2.5-inch wired ribbon. It's kind of a check and has the sunflowers. And then I just used the 1.5-inch yellow ribbon to tie it onto the wreath. And then I realized I didn't have my camera on while I was making the bow, so I was going to make another bow and show you what I did, but I didn't have enough of the same ribbon. So this is different ribbon, but it's 2.5 inches. So you just start, this is an easy bow maker, and you just measure the length that you want your tail, and that was about, 14 inches or so. And then I made a 6-inch loop. Now, the easy bow maker has markings on it, so you can see exactly how wide you need to make your bow. And this will make about a 12-inch wreath bow, so 6-inch loops on each side. So I made 2 loops at the 6-inch mark, Now each time you drop that down between those pegs, and you want to twist that ribbon to get your right side up, so your right side of your ribbon will be showing on your loop. So make 2 loops on each side, and then I wanted to drop down and make a loop of about 5 inches, 5.5, something like that, just a little bit smaller. So I did 2 loops at the 6 inches and only 1 loop at the 5 inch, one on each side. And then just come down and measure off, get your tails matched up and cut your ribbon. And you want to press that stack down. You want to compress that, make it as tight as you can. And then I took a piece of the yellow 1.5 inch and just folded a little bit there in the center, and then took that and wrapped it across the center of my bow, brought it around to the back, and tied it in a knot. This is just a really easy bow. I didn't take a lot of pains with it. I just tied that in a knot. I tied it twice. Probably one time it wouldn't come loose. And then I was going to use those yellow ends to just tie that onto the wreath. Fluff out your bow. Of course, that's wired ribbon. The ribbon's from Trendy Tree. We've got in several different colors and color patterns. We got just thousands of rolls of ribbon. But fluff your ribbon out, and then use the yellow ties. Oh, I was going to chevron or dovetail the ends of my 2.5 inch ribbon, and you just fold that and then cut across the fold. And that gives you a nice dovetail. I know one of my ends was longer than the other, but that's okay. That's it. Just tie it onto your wreath. Now, I have made this wreath to go on my back porch, and it's a glass door back there. I'll show you that. The wreath doesn't photograph well on the glass door, so I moved it around to the front of the house. Just so I could get some better pictures of it. But you can see I moved that. Anyway, it doesn't show up well on the glass door, so I moved it to the front so I could take a better picture of it. I think it turned out great for $10. I mean, it's a great wreath for $10. I wish I could have found more than one. And of course, that was just some scrap ribbon that I had left over. So it turned out to be a pretty little fall wreath for, $10.